So, Norman, you're in a car, so I don't know if you're going to be able to pull up the unpopular play plan.
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Because that is what we're going to be working out of. And we're going to be giving you guys roles. So I'm supposed to give you guys 10 minutes to prepare what your like role is. And then you're going to try to give us your point of view.
Okay.
So reading that person, what's the point of view, and just explain to us and try to propose your plan. So I'm going to assign. So let's do Sid Noble. Do you want to do that one, Norman?
Okay.
So Sid Noble. Ruth Gibson. If Tanner, you want to do that one?
Sure.
And then Miles Haddock. Zeb, if you want to do that one.
Okay.
And then I guess I could take one. I don't know if I'm supposed to or not. I guess I'll do Gus Teller. So we're supposed to take 10 minutes, basically read your portion, kind of get familiar with it, and then we'll come back in 10 minutes.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay.
I'm ready. Yeah, me too, whenever.
Okay, does anyone need more time?
Me?
Ready?
Nope. Oh,
Everyone's good?
yep.
So if we just want to go in order, I'm supposed to say, welcome to the Top Chem Pay Committee meeting. As you know, Sam Verde has asked me to lead this committee. Although I worked hard on the initial pay plan, I realize that no plan will be successful without support from employees. I want to get your input so we can create a pay plan that is best for everyone else. So you're gonna summarize what you believe, and then you're gonna kind of give us ideas for a better pay plan. I don't know why I can't say that word. Okay, so Norman, do you want to go first?
Who are you going to have go first? Because I missed that.
Sorry, do you want to go first, Norman?
Sure. Okay, so I'm Sid, the head of the scientist guys, and the big thing with compensation with the scientists is you have to be able to attract the good people, and scientists are kind of they do work individually. They have that expertise, especially if we attract the good people. And so I think the most important thing with compensation for the scientific group is to have a good base rate that attracts the quality people that we need. And I think we can, come up with a working group that works with the people on the factory floor and the people that are developing and producing products. So I think we can have some type of performance-based bonuses, but I think we need to attract the scientists with a good base rate. But we're willing to, work on team goals and company as far as improving safety and time to market. So, but I think we need to make it a smaller percentage.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Okay, Tanner, do you want to go ahead?
Yeah. So, my person was Ruth, and she, I guess me, were a team representative for the chemical mixers. A lot of more like the manual labor side of things. And the biggest thing that we feel like is that we put in a lot of hard work. We do a lot of extra hours and really are trying to catch on to the vision that the company's put out to working as groups and to really stepping up the game and actually taking part and increasing efficiency and working with other teams. But the problem is we don't feel like we've seen anything come from it. It's like for the past couple of months, we've been working really hard and we've upped our efficiency and also started producing more, but all we get is a pat on the back. And one thing I kind of agree with Norm is it has to have a good base rate so we can still attract good workers. But then also maybe if there could be some sort of compensation on an individual basis, if that's possible, if not on an individual team basis. So you look at it on an annual basis and see, okay, did you meet your team's goals? And if you meet your team's goals, then you get a percentage of a bonus, some type of thing like that. Where there's incentive to work harder, to increase efficiency, and to catch on to what the company wants to go with. And then once they get that bonus, then they'll continue to work harder.
Perfect. Okay. Zed, are you ready?
Yeah, so mine is Miles Hadcock. My argument is that and the fact is that we're all facing problems together. Each department makes up one big part, which is the business. And so when problems happen, when the company doesn't meet their bottom line, the real question is who should pay for them? Technically, we all should. I don't think Ruth may be frustrated about having to pay for areas beyond her control. But when it comes down to it, not the top chem is not the employees, it's the entire company. So, I mean, as a CFO, we take 60%. Like, if the company hits hard, like if we take a bad fall, I mean, we're going to suffer. We're going to see that by 60% in our own paychecks. So, I mean, right now the plan is to just put it at 4% overall. So I think if you increase that, if the company increases by 4%, you're going to see more put in. I think that's going to be a good incentive for everybody in the company. So I mean, we're at 60%. I don't see it being a bad thing, increasing that percentage, because I think that would be a good incentive for everybody. Sorry, that was really jumbled.
No, that was perfect. Okay, and then for my person, I had Gus Teller, and basically he was the corporate head of training or I guess I am. And I want to tie pay to the performance of the company. The benefit would be tying the group's performance to the pay because it encourages everyone to excel and it ensures excellence. Productive teams have members who tell each other what works and what doesn't work, and then how they could improve that. So in these teams, they'll just kind of feed off each other and give constructive criticism. And basically it believes that you won't have people working together unless there's an incentive for them to do so. So if there is this incentive, people will work better together, and the pay should be dependent on how well teams teach each other useful skills. So there has to be a lot of communication between different teams, and just trying to build each other up, but at the same time getting the work done. Okay, so now we are supposed to go through each one of our ideas and just name one of the pros and one of the cons about your idea. And then, yeah, we'll go from there. So Norman, do you want to talk about one pro and one con?
Okay, I would say the pro of keeping the pay scale the same for, say, the scientist is we don't have to try to explain a maybe somewhat complicated compensation schedule to new scientists that we're trying to recruit, because they'll be used to the scientists getting a traditional base rate of pay. So I think that would be the pro. It would keep our people happy, and it'd be good. I guess the con to keeping the pay scale the same for the scientists would be that the company management doesn't feel that that's going to foster.
Perfect. Awesome. Okay, Tanner, do you want to talk about one of your pros and then a con? With your mic on.
There we go. Okay. I think one pro is that she wants some kind of change to happen, which I think would be good, and to be their compensation to tie back to the performance. I think that's really good. It should tie at least a little bit. I don't know how heavily. But the con is she doesn't like the new plan and she doesn't like the old one. And so she wants a plan where it doesn't rely on the whole company, but it doesn't just go off of base pay. She wants it kind of in the middle. And I think she'll be just kind of nitpicky. Like she has to have it her own way.
Perfect. Okay, Zeb, do you want to talk about one pro and then one con of your plan?
Yeah, so the pro is we're all in the same boat. We're all together. If the company fails, or if the company succeeds, we succeed. That's the pro. If the con is if the company fails, then we all fail, and it hurts us in a negative way.
Perfect. So one pro to mine, which is basically everyone works and encourages everybody to excel. A pro can be, I think human nature is just being competitive. And so I think that could get people starting to go and like in the right direction and work even harder, kind of just like the competitiveness of trying to beat the next team or, be better than the team to the left of them. A con could be the more they get paid is the more they like help teach other groups. So I think that could be a bad thing. Just forcing people to do something that they don't want to do could have a negative side effect, I would say. Just because you have that begrudging, like, I don't really want to work with you, but I'm just doing this for the pay, could be an aspect. Okay. So there's a question that I'm going to ask, and we can all just go around and just answer it. Which is better, guaranteed pay for the same for all employees or seniority incentive pay linked to performance? So do you think everyone should get the same pay, or do you think it should be varied depending on different employees, depending on their performance?
What doesn't? So is it asking like each position will get paid the same? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, so like
what
each
your job
position
is?
will get paid the same, or do you think it should be better if it's variable based on performance? So if like you do really well in sales, that's one day you get paid more, obviously, in your next paycheck.
I think there needs to be some sort of incentive. I don't know if, because in the readings it talks about how pay always isn't the best incentive and it doesn't always work because people won't put forth the best effort. They just do it for the money, and just to kind of meet the quota. But I think if you sat down with each individual at the first of the year and set goals, and I guess gave them a bonus or something if they met their goals of what they thought, then that would work pretty good.
For me, when I look at it, I would want to be paid based off of my performance, but I mean, it is a downside. If I'm not performing well, like if I don't understand it and I'm doing bad,
Yeah.
I wouldn't want that because I'm not performing. But I think it's fair to the company, it's fair to you if you're being paid off your performance. Because if you're not performing, you don't deserve to be paid well. But if you are performing well, you do deserve to be paid well. So.
Yeah, I think the key to that is you do have to have basic expectations for each person's salary and each person's position. So they understand what's them, and also that they have something to shoot for, either some type of performance-based bonus or merit increase if they outperform the expectations for that job, so that they have something to look forward to, something to shoot for if they exceed the expectations of their.
One thought I had is real quick is just I don't think it's really would be really good if they tied it to the team, like if the whole company succeeded. Because just looking at it, like if I were working really hard, trying to, I guess, do really good and do the best of my job, but the company still failed, then it wouldn't be so fair to me, and I may not want to work as hard in the future if my pay was tied to the whole company.
Yeah. So I guess going off of that, what's kind of the ratio between pay based on performance and pay that's guaranteed? So like, should it be like 60% you get the check, or 60% you get this amount, and then based off the other 40% of your pay based off of your performance?
Yeah, I'm really confused though.
Sorry. Okay, so the question is, how much pay should be based on performance? How much should be guaranteed? So like, if I was going to answer this, I would say 60% should be guaranteed out of the whole pay, and then 40% is variable depending on how well you did, how hard you worked, and like maybe a meeting I had with one of my employees or something like that, just to like check up on them.
I kind of like the percentages that they have in the case study where it says like 75 and 25.
Mm-hmm.
I think those are divides it out pretty good because you still have the majority of your pay is you're going to get it no matter what, but then also it's still 25% is enough to incentivize you to work hard, but you still want to get that extra quarter of it.
Yeah, I've hired people for commission-only sales, and it's a very small percentage of people that can work under that type of pay scale. Most people need the security of a base rate. So I would say you really need to have a base rate that's like 100% that makes them feel secure with the company, and then use other incentives. And I think with this study, it really showed that they were able to get lots of improvements, not by doing we're able to work on teamwork and employee testing things and people working together to goals. They were able to do all of that without anything compensation. So I would say 100% base with some type of bonus, an extra, maybe 5 to 10%. Make it.
I missed most of that, but I don't know. I think it is important because if you do hire someone, not everybody's going to be able to perform. Maybe you're not capable, and I think it would be wise to, like Norm said, have a base pay. But I don't know. I just in my mind, it provides a lot more incentive to want to work hard because, I mean, incentive if you get paid more off of your performance. So I don't know.
Okay. So now just relax your roles. And then now we're going to talk about what you personally think would be the best option in this case.
I kind of like what Norman was saying, is if you did 100% base pay, and then the extra 5 or 10% would be a bonus. And you could do that 5 or 10%. You could still do it on the company. So if the company succeeds better than they thought, then everybody gets a bonus. But if the company doesn't succeed, then nobody gets a bonus. And so, I mean, there's not near as much pressure on that. You may not get, because like Norman said, the people are already working hard, even without the incentive pay. So maybe you don't even need to really incentivize them individually so much.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I think the two kind of big things that came out of all the experts that they had kind of critique the situation. The big thing was, if it's not broken, why do you need to fix it? The other thing was, if this was supposed to be developing things and making improvements based on employee participation, why didn't you do more employee participation?
That's a very good point. I agree. If it's not broken, why fix it? But
Yeah. So I was thinking along the same lines, maybe not 100%, but like maybe an extra 5%, some kind of reward be based off their performance. It could even be just like time. Maybe provide time off. I think could be a good incentive. Let's see. Okay. So I don't know if we want to do the final wrap up or if it's like necessary, but basically just feedback from you guys. Maybe what's the most important thing that you learned from this case?
That it would be a pain to try to adjust a plan. Like they're talking about, if it's broken out, fix it. But if you want to fix it, it's going to take a lot of work to try to get it all put together. Like, I don't know if you could ever get any of these guys to actually agree on something, just because their viewpoints are so different. So I don't know exactly how they would work it out. They might have to bring in an outside team to really look at things if they really ended up wanting to change it.
I would look at, just the whole process that they've implemented with the company, I think is really good. And I think the managers or whoever, wants to see, these kinds of improvements through this compensation plan, I think they just need to go to the employees and say, okay, what would it take to, increase your team or your division or this part of the company, decrease costs by 5% or increase shipping time by, or decrease shipping time by 15%. Just look at those goals and have the employees come up with the solution. And maybe the employees in one division would say, well, we've worked really hard to make these improvements, like one team did, but we haven't seen any improvement or compensation. We've worked overtime or all this other time to get it. And so they may say, we'd like to see some type of bonus thing or some type of comp time or time off or something like that to reward us for those things. But let the employees come up with it, because then solution to productivity. It'll come from them. They'll buy into it, and I think it'll be more successful. I think one of the biggest risks a company can take is mess with the compensation program and maybe lose really productive people. Really just need the security of the administrator.
I really liked kind of what Norman said, is putting the whole compensation thing in front of the employees and letting them build the plan. Because I think if me as an employee, if I can decide what is fair, if I say that if you put this in place, I'll work harder, I think that's super wise. I mean, that's a guarantee that I will work harder based off of this, because this is something that incentive. There we go. So I think that was
that
one of those things I learned.
Yeah, that works.
Okay. I also appreciated the fact that there's so many different ways to fix a problem or to find a solution. But I would definitely say talking with the employees, because if they're not on board, they have a problem to solve. Yeah, how do you think our quality of discussion was today, from 0 to 100 or 0 to 10?
It was a 10.
I'd say it was good. I think we had a good discussion.
Yeah,
That was really
good, and it was fast.
I'd say a 9.
Perfect. Okay. Who wants to be the discussion leader for next week?
I think that's me. So I'm up next week.
That's Tanner?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Norman, are you okay posting it even though you're driving? Mike's not on.
Sorry, yeah, I'll post it even if I do it a little bit later when I get home.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good night.
Bye, guys.
Yeah.